There are absolutely no rules in this life. There are none. There are absolutely no rules in this life. What is freedom? What is moksha? What is Jivan Mukta? What is Advait Vedant? What is heaven? What is hell? What is truth? What is lie? What is death? What is life? What is right? What is wrong? What is high? What is low? There is no rule or a truth in life. There is absolutely nothing of any value at all. But and above all, there are absolutely no rules in this life. To anyone who is watching this video from 0 to 100 years old, if you've ever felt not free, this video will set you free. This is the truth. I've spent years after years trying to understand it, and I want to give it away, and I want to give it away to you because I just want to give everything away that I've gained in these years. I've suffered a lot in this life. But the biggest problem with me was I had everything that I could ever want, but I still suffered. And that is why I read what I read. That is why I read this book Gita 1,000 times. It's because even after having everything that I could possibly have, after having food over my table, having a room, having a roof over my head, having a room like this to myself, every beautiful thing that I could want to myself, a beautiful body to myself, a beautiful, healthy nose, heart, brain to myself, amazing parents to myself, great parents, great friends to myself, great schooling to myself, great college to myself, great feminine support to myself, great masculine support to myself. Even after having everything that I believe any human can ever think of, I was mentally messed up. I was mentally not free for even a second. From the second I was born till now. I was caged, I was insecure, I was underconfident, I was scared. I would go out in the world and I would be scared. I would step out of my house and I would be scared. What if people do something to me? I'm scared of everyone. I'm scared of everything. I'm scared of my own self. I'm scared of my own desires. I'm scared of everything. Above all, I am not free. And this troubled me so bad, this troubled me to the core of my being, that even after having everything I could possibly have, what the flip is wrong with my life? Why am I suffering so much? I wanted an end to this suffering. I didn't want a pause, I didn't want a break, I didn't want a small stop sign. I wanted the end to this suffering. I wanted the ultimate last end to this suffering. That is why, this book, especially this book, I read this till I was not living every word of this book. I read this over 1,000 times. I read this Bhagavad Gita for over 1,000 times because I knew, first of all, there were answers in this book, but I wanted to read it until this book and me were not two separate things. I wanted to read this until every single breath I breathed was this book, was the knowledge in this book. And I got there. I got it. And because I got it, I want to give it all away, because I suffered my entire life. I don't want you guys to suffer anymore. I want this whole world to be free. I want this whole world to be successful. I want this whole world to be free. I want this whole world to be rich. I want this whole world to be healthy. I want you to be the best you can ever be. You don't even have to be anything. You already are. I want you to be free, and that is why I'm making this video. I'm titling this in the boldest letters possible, saying this one thing more than anything that I'll ever say, there are no rules in this life. And this is what I'm most probably going to explain now, is because I don't want anyone else to suffer anymore, alright? So now we'll unpack it, how there are no rules in this life. And the simple answer is death. Alright, so I'll tell you a personal story. For half of my life, or like 80% of my previous life, this life, 80% of the former life, I suffered and I was insecure because my family told me that I belong to a scheduled caste. I am a chamar. I am lower than everybody else. I am a lower caste. I am societally degraded person. I am societally not a valuable person. I belong to a creed that is the lowest in the society. Alright, this was fed to me. This was fed to me by the society. This was fed to me by my parents. This was fed to me by my friends. This was fed to me by my school, by the media, and I suffered. Alright, I was insecure. No, even if I had the money, even if I had the looks, even if I had the physique, even if I had the body, even if I had good friends, I suffered. I was insecure. I was like, I can't be confident, right? I'm an SC. I'm a scheduled caste. How can I actually be happy though? Until one day when I was in the middle of mastering this book, I was like I had read it over like 500 to 700 times. There was a heavy rainstorm in my city and I was going to the gym. And to go to my gym, I have to go a little opposite way and then take a U-turn and then go to my gym. So when I was taking the U-turn, there was water on the other side of the road that I was going to be then. There was a lot of water there, water logging, right? There was like 1 feet water logging there. So there were police there and there was an old man. So while I was taking the U-turn, while I was going to the gym, the police stopped me and said, hey son, hey kid, can you take this old man to his house? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And he sat on the back of my scooty. There was a lot of water, it was raining, these were bad conditions. So I was like, yeah, why not? You sit on the back of my scooty and I'll drop you off home. And he was in my way, his home was in my way, so I dropped him outside his place. 2-3 streets away from his place. That I was supposed to drop him there, but I was like, you know what, sir, it's raining and you might find water in your streets as well. Let me drop you at the footstep of your house, at your gate itself. So he was very happy. So he was like, yeah, sure. So I went an extra mile. I dropped him off exactly at his doorstep. I was happy about it. But what happened was he got off my scooty and he was very happy. He smiled at me and he said, thank you so much, beta. Are you a Jat as well? And I was a happy person that day. I was reading Gita. I was sort of free in my mind. I had understood things I just did a kind act out of humanity, out of general kindness. And the first thing this guy asked me after I helped him out in such a bad weather is that, oh, are you a Jat as well? Are you this caste as well? And he did not just ask me, he presumed it. He presumed, you are a Jat as well, right? Because I helped him. And of course, I couldn't reply to him that I was an SC because I was insecure of my caste all my life. I said, I said, no. And this is how it went, right? But I didn't answer him anything. I just went away. I didn't really reply him anything. I just went away And while I was going to my gym during that time, I said to myself, wait a second. Who said I'm an SC? No, I'm not a Jat. You know what? I'm a Christian. And now, for the next 2 days, I was like, wait a second, all this discrimination that I faced is because I chose to believe that I was an SE. What proves it? What in my body says that I'm an SE, right? So I said to myself that I'm a Christian from now on then. Hell with this Hinduism, hell with this casteism. I'm a Christian. And in those 2 days, I tried to become a Christian. And I had been reading Bible as well because I love Gita. I wanted to read another religious holy books as well. I was reading Bible as well. And I was like, you know what? I'm a Christian from now on. I did not actually become a Christian. But 2 days later, I realized if I can choose to be a Christian in a second, why did I suffer all through my life? And if I can just go from Hinduism to Christianism in like just a second, was it even worth it suffering my whole life? And what ended up happening was that I did not become a Christian. I just realized how stupid these things are. I just realized how petty it was ever for me to even believe that I was an SC. So this was the starting of, in my life, of breaking down of what is believed to be a rule or a belief in this life. When I realized that I'm not an SC, nothing makes me an SC but my belief in it, then how was it ever of any value? And if it was never of any value at all, why did I suffer 80% of my life because I was tagged as to be belonging to a caste? So this is where it began in my life, alright? This is where my first breaking down of a limiting belief happened. This is where I freed myself for the first time in my life. And I never really cared about caste ever after that, because I did not have to become a Christian to stop suffering from someone labeling me something. Because if it's just a label, then how does it ever matter in this world? And this later led to the greater realizations in life which I realized, and that was the transient nature of this life. That was when I got enlightened in June 2025, when I realized that, every sad moment that I ever had was just a tiny passing wave and it was never real, and I'm the awareness behind it on which all of these waves are passing by. I realized that nothing is real in this life. And when I realized this, I sort of realized this book. I sort of realized myself. I sort of got enlightened. Not sort of, I got enlightened. I got the gist of Advait Vedant. I realized that I am the awareness. Right? Because if I'm not my caste, if I'm not my emotions, if I'm not this body, because this body was this big once, this body will get old and die off as well. But the one who was experiencing this body, I was the same all throughout, right? The one in the awareness of which this body has grown from this size to this size and will reach the death. that one thing, that one awareness will always remain the same, and that is what I am. So if I'm not my caste, if I'm not my body, if I'm not my emotions, because they pass, no matter how bad of a word you say to me, how much of an insult you throw at me, and how much of humiliation you make me feel. Even if I do feel that humiliation, although I'm beyond it, I just don't feel those emotions anymore. Even if you make me feel humiliated, how real is that humiliation? Because I might feel this humiliation right now, and by tomorrow, by day after tomorrow, it will be over. It will pass, I will stay. Try to get this, because this is enlightenment, this is freedom. This is the basis of there are no rules in life. No matter how humiliated you make me feel, even if I do accept to feel that humiliated, 3 days from now, I will never even remember that it existed. I might remember it as a memory, but not as a feeling that lingers on me, that stays with me. It always was a wave that will come in me, and that will pass. So when you do realize this, that you are not your caste, you are not your religion. Because remember, I was a Hindu, and in 1 second I said I'm a Christian, and there was nothing stopping me from becoming a Christian. Like, who said I'm a Hindu? My parents? Who gave them the right to tell me I'm a Hindu? Who said I'm an SC? My parents, who gave them the right to tell me who I am. The society told me. The borders in which I'm born, that told me that I'm a Hindu. Who gave that non-living boundary a right to tell me who I am? Who gave my parents any right to tell me who I am? Who are they? They're going to die as well. Like, they are of no value either. Neither exists body or anything else. They're all the same. But I'm just giving you a perspective. There is absolutely no value in whoever tells you anything. So, if I'm not my religion, if I'm not my caste that comes under that religion, if I'm not my emotions, because as I showed you, it passes, and if I'm not even this physical body, not even this brain, not even the internal organs, I'm talking about all of them. All of our cells regenerate completely in 10 to 20 years. I know the exact time, but I think in 20 years, all of our cells that were in our body have been completely replaced by the new ones. So you are not, again, you're not your religion, you're not your caste, you're not your body, you're not your emotions, you're not your mind. What is mind? Mind is just movement of thoughts, mental movement of thoughts. I don't remember correctly, but it's just mental movement, right? That is mind, and it is always coming and going. Nothing stays. If you're not all of these, religion, body, mind, caste, color, everything that belongs to this body, any of your friendship, you're not your friendship, you're not your relation, you're not anything, then what are you? This is freedom, okay? If you understand this, if you just understand this, it is freedom for life. It is freedom forever. It is freedom for infinity. This is Sanatan. Sanatan means timeless, eternal, infinity. If you just understand this much, if you're not your religion, caste, color, body, mind, connections, relationships, name, if you're not none of these, what are you? You are the awareness in which all of these things happen. You're the awareness in which all these emotions come and die off. You're the awareness in which some people told you were a Hindu, and then it died off. You chose to be Christian. You could choose to be a Muslim again. You can choose to be anything. But all of these are things that come and die. All of the cells of your body have come in this awareness and will die in this awareness. Once you understand that you are this awareness, you are this constant, infinite, eternal, untouchable, untouched, immutable, ineffable awareness in which all of these things happens, you'll be free. Because once you realize this, you realize there are no rules in this life. You feel me? Whatever I say in this video, it is useless. It is valueless. The absolute sum game of this video is 0. Absolute sum game of this life is 0. If I earn $100 million, I'm still going to die. If I sleep with the most beautiful girls, that pleasure is going to die. If I become the most handsome man on the planet, the validation I get will die. If I become the fastest and the strongest person in the world, again the validation from it dies. Nothing that you can ever do in this world will create any impact on anything. The impact that you will create, that will die. You, the creator, you will die. The thing you impacted, the subject of impact, will die off as well. This knowing that everything is mithya, jagat mithya, brahm satya, just this knowing that everything in this world is an illusion passing in the awareness, and you are that awareness. This is freedom. And this is not freedom for a day. This is not freedom for 2 days. This is a timeless freedom. Say what to me. Say whatever you can to me. You cannot humiliate me. You cannot affect me. You cannot make me happier. You cannot validate me. You cannot frighten me. You cannot make me feel secure. Because I know whatever you will do to me, that is an illusion. You, the doer, you are an illusion. And this body, that which you are trying to praise or ridicule, this is an illusion. My mind, this tongue that is speaking is an illusion. The mind that you can try to do anything to is an illusion. This body will die. Once you realize this, you realize there are no rules in this life. There is nothing stopping you. And this is not a negative viewpoint of life. This is the most liberating and positive viewpoint of life. You'll ask me how. And normally people just have 2 questions, right? I had only 2 questions in my life. Who am I and what to do? And I realized I am the awareness. So nothing affects me anymore. Nothing should affect you anymore either. Just this direct realization is enough. This direct realization is the eternal truth, is eternal liberation. And the second question is what to do. And the only answer to that is also choose what you do. The worst thing that I kept on asking from this world was, what should I do? And the second we say what should we do, means that we are trying to seek security in this world, proclaiming out loud that we think there is a righter thing to do in this world and there is a wronger thing to do in this world, and we still don't see that both of them are an illusion. So once you realize that everything is actually an illusion, you realize that there is no what should I do. There is only what do you choose to do today. But the power which I have, the power you get from this realization is that nothing pulls you anymore. You see, every wrong thing that you do it when you're not free. But once you realize what I just told you, once you realize this, once you internalize this, once you actually feel it, because feeling it took me 2 years, it can take you as much time as it needs. But it's just this what I said. Easy to say because I had to read this book 1,000 times to realize this. Take your time as much as you need. But yeah, this is all. This is what I said is all. Your awareness, everything is an illusion passing in you. Choose what to do. This is the end of all knowledge, right? All I'm saying is that most of the times you ask what should we do, and it's only because we think there's a wrong thing, and the only wrong thing that we ever do and ever happens is because we're not free. You see, when this mobile rings and gives me notification, when this mobile rings and gives you notification, when social media, when you scroll social media, when it comes with new notifications, it pulls you, right? And this is one of the biggest concerns in the world right now, right? People are not able to control themselves against the mobile. People are not able to control themselves against the adult content that is being shown so explicitly online. They all are a problem because just the way I thought I am an SC and that matters, you think that the social media is of value, that the adult content is of value. Anything that pulls you is the thing that you give value to. If you know that any next scroll that you're going to do is of no value, the pull that it has on me, the pull that it has on you, it dies off. Boom, and you're now free. This is the problem that the whole world had, right, for the longest time. This is the answer. This has value over you only because you give it the value. Once you see the illusion, once you see the illusion behind it, once you see the illusion in the adult content in social media, it has no power to pull you. And the pulling is the only thing that is wrong. Content is not wrong. Same content can be consumed very beautifully out of choice. Is the giving up of your own power, is the losing of yourself into this attached egoic world that causes restlessness in you, right? So coming back to the point is, guys, there are no rules in this life. Whatever you are suffering from, whatever the problem is in your life, know that the problem is going to die, the one causing is going to die, and you are going to die. And it's a very beautiful thing. You have just a small time on this planet, 70, 80 years. You're going to die. So live beautifully. Do what you want to do. I was a big fan of Earl Nightingale before I got into Gita, before I got into Indian theosophical literature. I was extremely into success literature of West. And I was a big fan of Earl Nightingale, Earl Shaw, Neville Goddard, etc. But The Strangest Secret of Earl Nightingale, one of the most famous books or recorded videos ever. Earl Nightingale said one thing, that is, success is progressive realization of a worthy ideal. He gave the definition of success, and it was one of the most amazing definitions ever given. If it's one of the most respected definitions of success ever given, and the definition was: success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. In simple words, if a man knows where he's going, he's successful. You don't need a man to be where he wants to be successful. You don't need a man to be rich, to be fair, to be handsome, to be strong, to be beautiful, to be flexible, to be any quality to be successful. If a man is going towards a predetermined, deliberately decided goal, he is successful. And if a man is not going where he wants to go, he is unsuccessful. And this is the problem with this world. He also mentions that, I think it was mentioned in the Man's Search of Meaning book, that opposite of courage in this world is not cowardice but conformity. Opposite of courage is conformity. The only thing that is wrong with this world is that people are doing things that they're doing without knowing why they are doing, without knowing where they're going. The only problem in this world is that you do not choose what you're going to do. You're doing it out of attraction and repulsion. This is what Gita says. Treating attraction and repulsion alike, treating hate and love alike, treating success and defeat alike, act. Desirelessly act. Desirelessly doesn't mean don't have an inspiration to it, don't have a goal to it. Desirelessly means don't have the slightest and any amount of craving towards anything towards this world before acting. Neither does you repel me, neither do you attract me. I act because I want to act. It's a small life given to me. I want to do something. I am driven by nature. This body mind, which is going to die in my awareness, in the awareness that which I am, I'm sorry for my wordings, has a nature, and I'll just let it be. I'll let it express. I will not repress anything. That is freedom. That is Jivan Mukt, Moksha. Like, this is the end of all knowledge. Like, this is it. Right? So, I mentioned Nightingale because I was telling you that he said the same thing in Western media as well, although they had a lot to back those sentences with, which I learned from Gita. But success is just doing what you want to do, just moving towards a predetermined goal. And that you will only get once you realize that there is nothing of value anymore. There is nothing real in this world. There is nothing of absolute value in this world. And when you realize everything is an illusion, now social media, porn, doesn't have the energy to pull you. And when nothing has the energy to pull you or push you away, that which you do out of your deliberate selection, out of your true nature, that is life, that is freedom. There is nothing beyond that. You feel me? That is it. Be free. There are no rules in this life. Nobody can scare you in this world. Nobody can insult you in this world. Nobody can make you happy in this world. Nobody can make you secure in this world. Nobody can make you insecure in this world. You are untouchable. You are immutable. You are infinite. You are eternal. You are the greatest thing that has ever been, ever will be, ever is. You are Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvam Asi. You are it. And you're not just this awareness in which this body dies. You are the awareness in which this whole universe comes and dies off. You're the same awareness in which I am, you're the same awareness in which you are, you're the same awareness in which your bed is, you're the same awareness because of which the whole universe exists. You are the highest that there was, is, and ever will be, and it will forever be. Be free, my love. Be free. Don't let anybody have any power over you. Don't let anybody have any power over you. Don't give them any power to have over you, because in simple terms, there is no giving and having. They cannot have any power. You cannot give any power to them. But still, in simple words, be so complete and powerful and secure within yourself through this knowledge that you do not need anything else in this world beyond this point to find security. Be so full, whole, and complete in yourself that even if you die today, it doesn't even touch you. You don't even have this much attachment to live any longer. Just be completely and utterly and fully whole in yourself. You are the awareness, the Brahman, the consciousness in which this whole universe exists. I mean, I can't even stress this. And you can learn this scientifically. Any lens, this is the end of all knowledge. This is the last truth. What are you even like? If you take a microscope, zoom in, there's a cell, there's a molecule, there's an atom. Atom has electrons, atom has protons, atom has neutrons. Those neutrons are made up of quarks, and those quarks are vibrations in an invisible field. Atoms themselves are 99% empty space. And even the particles that have any space are just vibrations in an invisible space, which also vibrate only when they are being observed, when you're aware about it. Once you realize this truth, this highest truth in this world, that you are that awareness, and without that awareness nothing exists. Everything exists because of that awareness. How can there be any rule for you in this world? How can there be any cage for you in this world? How can there be any condition for you in this world? You are free, you are infinite, you are eternal. Internalize this, realize this, say this every day. I am awareness. And you will also reach that realization. I reached that realization. I realized in real time. Holy shit. The sadness that I was feeling, I was never sad. That sadness just came and passed into me. That happiness just came, arised, and ended in me. This motivation that I had to make this video just arised and will die off. I just let it through. It's 5:04 in the morning, if you can see. It's 5 a.m. in the morning. It was my sleeping time. I was like, you know what? This motivation has arrived. Let me just act on it. Who cares? It's something tomorrow. I don't care. But that's not the point. Guys, realize there are absolutely no rules in this life. Be free. I'm fed up of seeing people suffer. That's all. That is the only motive of mine of making this video. I'm fed up of seeing you all suffer. And because you suffer, you irritate me as well. Like, you irritate this body mind. Not me. But you guys are just messing things up because you're stuck in your own false beliefs. I want to change this entire world, bro. We all can be free, rich, healthy, and harmoniously, beautifully, lovingly living together with each other. And it's not even like we have to do a lot of work to get there. It can happen in one day, it can happen in 1 month if we all decide to, alright? This whole world can unite and become the most beautiful place to ever live in just 1 month. It's not hard. It's just letting go of all the false beliefs that you've carried over. I wish I could make that happen. This is like my first video of going towards that goal. But yeah, all of us can be rich, healthy, and abundant. All of us can enjoy this life so much. All of you who have watched this video, who are watching this video, at least can be free right here, right this moment, right now. So be it. I'll be making a lot of videos. I'm saying this with a hint of doubt. Is because this what I spoke is clearly written in this book, more like the Adi Shankaracharya version of this book. But even after reading it over and over again, it took me 2 years to actually realize this in real life, feel this in me, get actually enlightened. So yeah, I'm saying that you can be free just by understanding this, but you have to understand this intellectually and also feel this. So it can take some time, but guys, know this: there are no rules in this world. You are free, you're infinite, you're eternal, you're the greatest thing that has ever been there. You are the great thing itself. There are no lies, there are no truths. Nothing is real, everything is an illusion. Everything that you can perceive with these eyes, hear with these ears, feel with the skin, taste with this tongue, what's the other thing that we have, and smell with this nose, everything is an illusion. Don't give it any value. Know that you are infinite, you know that you are eternal. Do what you love to do. Choose what you want to do in this life and do it for the sake of enjoyment. Dance in this life, enjoy this life. You only have 50 to 80 years to live, or maybe 100, maybe 120. I don't want to jinx it. Live to 200 for me, right? But dance as long as you live, as long as a breath goes in through this nose and comes out of this nose. Dance freely, dance fully, dance expansively. Be this. Don't be this. Be this. Be this. Just the way I'm making this video. Expansive. Full. Open. The whole universe is yours. The whole universe is you. The whole universe exists because of you. This. I want you to be this. This. I want you to be this. I love you. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. I love you guys. See you in the next video, alright? I love you all. Be free. There are no rules in this world. I love you all. See ya. Bye. See you in the comments.